My name is Elroy Gust, and I'm the president and CEO of Newlook Capital. 5 years ago, we began on our journey to build a dental practice consolidation fund. And we're happy to be here today, 5 years later, to tell you that we've accomplished all of our goals around capital raised, revenue targets, and earnings targets. Today, joining me is Abbas Osman, our Chief Investment Officer, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the successes we've had and how that business continues to grow. Abbas, tell us some of the big milestones over the last 5 years. How has it worked out?
So it has been an incredible journey so far. You know, we started 5 years ago with a strategy on paper. And I remember the first presentation that we did to investors, and they said, really, can you do that? Like, is it gonna happen? Today we stand in front of you and we say, yeah, it happened. You know, it happened even during COVID. It happened, during semi-recession, inflation, you name it, we passed through it, you know. But at the end of the day, yeah, it happened. We grew from 7 practices to 31 practices. We grew the revenue from a couple of $1 million. Almost today, we are at around $60 million of run rate revenue. But the biggest takeaway from all of that is the opportunity is tremendous. We underestimated the opportunity when we started. We thought that it is something that is definitely scalable and we can grow it to $100 million. But today, our ambition is far more than that. Not only because of what we have achieved on the ground, but because the industry is such an appealing industry from an investment perspective, and we want to tap on that opportunity, given that we are very well prepared for that.
Abbas, tell us about the industry.
You know, the industry now, we can talk about it far more than what we have been discussing with investors along the way. When we started 5 years ago, we did our research for 2 years before that, and we were very well aware about the industry and the opportunities that are in the industry. But today, we've been there. We are on the ground for the past 5 years. We've learned a lot along the way, and the industry is just amazing. You know, the merits of the industry are pretty much the same as we started, but it advanced. So this industry, we have 15,000 clinics out there in the dental industry. And if we take the concentration and the consolidation, you know, it's still lagging behind most of the developed markets. Today, in Canada, around 7% is consolidated. It's corporately owned by DSOs, but we are still lagging behind most of the developed markets. It should be at around 15 to 30%. So there is a long way for us and a huge opportunity for us to tap further on what we have achieved so far. In terms of growth, the industry is growing at 2.9%, but for us, we are growing organically, like for like, in the same clinics at around 9%. So we love these merits in the industry, and we are going to continue tapping on that.
One of the key drivers to success, and part of what Dr. Sam and his team have built, is the ability to not only acquire clinics, but really the ability to acquire them, integrate them into the larger picture, and really drive earnings at those clinics as we've progressed.
Again, this is very, very important. We are fundamental investors at the end of the day. So like any other roll-up, it's not about only buying, okay? It's buying and integrating and optimizing the assets that you are acquiring. And that's exactly what we've been doing. And you mentioned, you know, Dr. Sam and the Dental team did a great job in terms of optimizing these clinics and taking them to the next level. On average, when we buy a practice, the EBITDA margin would be around 18% to 20%. Today, we are running at around 22.5%. That's in addition to increasing the production, which is the sales of the clinic. So building the team that is capable of taking the clinic from one level to another, and in terms of optimizing and building on the efficiencies of the clinics and the economies of scale, that's key. And this is something that has been achieved with the great team that we have at Newlook, led by Dr. Sam.
One of the things that we were surprised about was just the number of practices that were available to be acquired, to purchase. And that's one of the things that we wanted to bring forward to investors 5 years later is, yes, you can still participate via a debenture offering that pays 9% return, but we wanted to introduce an opportunity for investors to participate in the growth of the business as we move forward, and to participate in the growth of that as equity investors. We're going to talk to you a little bit more about that in the new year, but I think it would be great for investors to have that ability at the same time as still be able to participate through that debenture offering.
Yeah, now you got me excited because, again, we mentioned there are 15,000 practices over there. Today we know the business, okay? We know the business inside out. We have a track record. We thought that we will be happy achieving 30, 40 clinics. Actually, today we see that we can integrate with the existing infrastructure that we've built as a team, and plus the experience, we can integrate 100, even 150 practices. So we have a long way from here to tap on the opportunity going forward. And we want to do that alongside with you. And that's our offering today.
There you go. There's a new target, 150 practices.
No. Let's stick with 100.
Okay, 100 practices. Thanks, Abbas. I just have one final question for you. Do you floss every day?
I do.
Well done.
I do, not because of Dental, because of my daughter. She's after me that I have to floss every day.
She reminds you every day?
She reminds me every day.
Way to go.